Welcome to AI Marketing, a podcast for sales and marketing professionals that want to increase their sales, leads, and conversions through the use of artificial intelligence solutions. And now, here's your host, Mark Friedman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to AI Marketing. Today, we have a special guest. His name is June Loiza. And let me know if I pronounced that wrong. We're going to talk about how to sell better with AI. And the both of us are going to go back and forth on future predictions as well, from what I'm taking from this conversation. So, June, please introduce yourself. You're in my backyard, too, so that's interesting. And we'll start with that.
Absolutely. Thank you for the intro. It's awesome to be here. I am in your backyard here in Southern California. My name is June Loiza. I'm the founder and CEO of Constant Closer. We believe that AI is going to change the way that if you have an email audience and you're trying to sell to that email audience, you're going to be able to capture and convert them and get incremental conversions. But of course, that's what the product is doing and what I'm working on. But overall, I'd love to talk to you about AI, where I think AI selling is going to go in marketing, and just really happy to provide any type of value that you need from me here.
Excellent. Well, why don't we kick things off? And one of the first things I'd like to know myself is, how did you get into AI, and how does it relate to your sales and marketing efforts?
How did I get into it? I mean, how can you not get into it?
You'd be
really?
surprised.
Right?
Be surprised.
From everything from education, I mean, I think about it in terms of how can I have two daughters. How can I make sure that my children are going to have the best life possible and have a jump start in their careers, whatever they decide to do. And everyone's talking about it. It has to be an AI. So I think about it from how I'm going to teach my children. There's a huge movement. I don't know if you've seen it, but like 2-hour learning, that they believe that you can cut down the school day from, I think, 5 to 6 hours to just 2 hours of learning with AI. So I think in every piece of the puzzle, we're going to be more effective. That's what everyone's talking about. So in my mind, I was building a product. It was called Hit Me Up, and it was meant to be a CRM for content creators. These people on Instagram, these people on TikTok, right? Did you know that the number one career of choice now for Gen Zers, or maybe even younger, right, when they're in high school, is they want to be a content creator? And we felt that current CRMs are just too complicated with the HubSpot and others. And so we wanted to create something simpler just for these content creators. We were building it with AI. The idea was Hit Me Up was going to be a way to create this AI persona of yourself. And that would be a way for you to capture your audience and scale yourself. And it was going well. We had users. But when it came time to actually getting them to pay, these content creators, they're like, I don't really want to pay for this. It didn't seem that useful. But then we found a subset of content creators that did want to pay for it. And these were online course creators. They had an email audience and they wanted to turn that email audience into paying customers. And that's how we pivoted. But really, it was about how can we maximize and make these creators more effective in whatever they're doing. And so that was our starting point, and we felt that AI was a good place to facilitate that, and it really was.
Okay, so what is it that just lay it out for us? What is it that you're doing with AI and selling at this point?
So what we're doing
2025.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really about how can you get a salesperson that is on 24/7, never tired, never forgets, always follows up, never has a bad day. And how can you then scale personalized content for everyone on your email audience? So that's what I think, right? If anybody of your listeners is thinking about how can I use AI to amplify myself, to scale yourself, really you got to think about it in two ways. One is that scalability at a very, very good cost, right? So basically you'd be able to send emails to thousands upon hundreds of thousands of emails at scale. You would never be able to do that with just a salesperson. You'd have to have a whole sales team, and the cost behind that would be astronomical. The second is hyper-personalization, right? So even if you have a salesperson, you're giving them templates and they're copying and pasting and sending that out. It's just not hyper-personalized. But with AI, you can get all the behavior that your audience is doing, whether it's on your website, on your email list, what emails they're opening, what they subscribe to, and then you can hyper-personalize to them. Because really think about this. Mark, your inbox is flooded. My inbox is flooded. The attention of a user or this person on your email list, it comes at a premium now more than ever. We're all getting a bunch of emails. We're all getting text messages. A lot of this is honestly probably generated by AI. So how can we best catch the attention of somebody? And that's where we believe we should focus on, and that's why we believe our product is valuable. Scalability, hyper personalization, getting somebody to open your email, read it, click on it, and convert. And the performance right now really does speak for itself. We have much higher open rates, click rates, and conversion rates than any email marketing platform out there.
Okay, so you have a product then that enables salespeople to do this, and
Well,
it's not. Go ahead.
great question. So it's not necessarily salespeople. It's for course creators. Like, let's say you're selling an online course or an online membership. You have an email audience. You don't have a sales team, and you don't know where to start. Constant Closer can help you create that sales team and help you scale. Right? You don't have to go out there and hire a salesperson, train them, motivate them, try to get them to not churn. Right? Because it's very challenging to maintain a sales team if you don't have high commissions to reward them. So this is about online course creators that currently don't have a sales team and want to have a sales team for the very first time.
Got it. Okay. All right. Very good. And we encourage you to go look at constantcloser.com. That's where they'd find it, right?
That's right. ConstantCloser.com.
Okay. So let's get back into AI and selling. See, the way I look at it is, we're already starting to see some of this where you've got AI robots, I'd say just AI that's making calls. You could have a pretty good, decent conversation with it. And that's today. Wait till the future when you have AI agents doing this. Why do we need salespeople at all?
You mean, well, that's a good question. So where we are today and where we're going to be in the future. So today there are many platforms, not just Constant Closer. There are a ton of platforms out there that use AI in the sales process in some manner, right? You have products like ours that go after course creators that have a price point of around, it can be anything from $100 per month to $25,000 per year, which is great, right? We're able to work in that segment. But then you have teams that are selling SaaS products that are, right, $20,000, $100,000 per year. And for these bigger ticket items, you need a salesperson somewhere in the middle. And not sure how familiar you are with the sales process, right? But the way it works today, let's remove AI for a second. The way sales works in software and SaaS today is you have a bunch of outbound emails. If somebody is hooked and responds to the email, then you have an SDR, sales development rep, actually respond with the goal of qualifying that lead. Right? So this could be either email or a phone call. And once you qualify that lead, you then pass that on to somebody who's actually closing the deal. Now, today, there are several companies, and I'll tell you right now, right? There's Growbots, there's Instantly, there's a lot of products out there that are focused on this outbound sales for a SaaS company. And they're taking over, if you're thinking about the funnel, they're taking over the top of the funnel. This is outbound emails, and this is SDRs, which is trying to schedule a phone call so that a real salesperson is able to close the deal. So I think that exists still today. If your question is when will that ultimately be replaced where the entire funnel is AI, I can't fully make that prediction, but if you really think about the rate of acceleration and where we're headed, it's going to be, of course, better and better. But ultimately, can you really replace that personal touch where right? If anybody asks you about sales, the experts will tell you, all the books will tell you that people don't make big purchasing decisions based on logic or reason or the rationality. They make it because of an emotional decision, right? Something about that product, tugged at their emotions or the salesperson. So that personal touch from that salesperson is a big part, whether they're friendly, whether they like them or they don't like them, that's going to influence a big part. So when will AI be that good where you can talk and respond all in real time? I mean, yeah, maybe a few years out, but we're still not at that stage yet. And that's why you see that the full sales funnel has not been completely taken over by AI.
Yeah, but you agree it's going to. I mean, it just makes perfect sense. I mean, especially when you get into AGI, and you're talking to AI that's far smarter than us, creating its own knowledge and able to process things a million times faster than us. I mean, you'll basically talk to an AGI agent, and it will tell you based on, and if you let it have access to your systems, it'll tell you what's absolutely best for you without any bias.
So, absolutely. But can I tell you something? I think many times, myself included, are and your listeners are going to get hyped about AI so much. You start thinking so much about the future, which is great. But being in the game right now, you realize the limitations, right? And there are certain limitations that are still apparent. For example, support, right? I know there's companies trying to figure out support. We're not in that game, but just like the act of like changing your username and password, getting a refund, all these things that are kind of definitive and require support because of AI hallucinations and because you give the AI instructions, but it doesn't mean they're going to follow it exactly. Because of that, when you need something that's black or white, right and wrong, one or zero, it's very difficult to fully and 100% depend on that AI. I'm not sure if you've seen this, right? So, like again, I'll give you the example of getting a refund. How does the AI and how do you ultimately give AI full trust, whether correctly to give a refund or to not and to process that transaction? I haven't seen it that we're there yet. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but those are the things that we have encountered where when it's absolutely something critical and definitive, AI still can't be dependent on 100% of the time.
No, I haven't seen it, but I'll tell you what could happen, and what is happening is you've got AI agents that are being created to make all that happen. The problem is the systems aren't connected through MCP yet, which basically, in short, is model. It's a model protocol that allows these systems to talk to one another. We're not even close to that yet, but it will happen. We'll see it just like HTTP and IP and all that kind of stuff came together and was compatible with all different types of systems. So until then, it's not going to be good. But you could have decision points. You could have these AI agents going out and bringing you information, and then you can give it a yes or no
Yep.
and say proceed. So that's probably most definitely be the first step because most people don't even trust self-driving cars yet. They're not going to trust the
I
financial
trust mine.
situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I've actually forgotten how to drive. So when I drive the X now, the Tesla Model X, I actually just completely let it drive. And to the point where sometimes I'm done with the drive and I'm like, man, I think I'm gonna forget how to drive pretty soon.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a bad thing. I mean, it's probably far safer to have you on the road and for you to be exposed to other drivers because it's looking in all directions at once, right, to help avoid accidents.
It's amazing. Like when you fully trust it, right? Like of course I'm still paying attention,
How
but
much are
even
you
I
paying attention though? Aren't you on your phone?
no, it'll beep, right? It like looks at me, and if I look at my phone, it'll like cancel my full self-driving for that drive. So now I'm like really locked in and paying attention.
All right, so you can't. All right,
Yeah, they have to be checked, right? It's still in beta. So, they have that little in-cabin camera that's looking at you. So if
yeah.
you're looking down or looking away, or if you have your phone out, it'll actually tell you, you have your phone out, please put it away. Pay
Can't
attention.
you? Because I use the I don't use the full driving
Mhm.
version. I use kind of the in lane version.
Autopilot, probably.
Yeah, yeah, autopilot. And if you wear sunglasses, it can't tell.
This is true. So you can wear sunglasses now. So I mean, I guess I could try to trick it, but I mean, I'm fine. I like paying attention.
Yeah, there's no police listening to this. I assure you.
But one thing I wanted to add to the previous topic was that something would be interesting to you and to everyone is this topic of temperature has been really interesting to me. If you don't know what temperature is, the lower the temperature of the AI, the more focused, the more factual, and the more deterministic it's going to be. The higher the temperature, the more creative, exploratory, or diverse it's going to be. So it's really this balance, right? Even today, when we're using the API for OpenAI, um, for our models, we're using slightly more deterministic because the goal is to really not tell you an entire story or to draw you a picture, but it's actually to accomplish a task, right? And the task is to get them to convert or get them to book a webinar. And so this idea of playing with the temperature is actually has been really exciting for me to see how the lower and the lower the temperature that we get, the more deterministic. But even then, can you fully and 100% trust the AI? Maybe more than a human. I mean, that's something that we're still testing out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the big thing around temperature is better yet. I would like the AI to get to know you so well. It knows the context of what temperature it should be in. I don't know how far it could go because that's some pretty intense learning, and would have to know you better than your parents or your kids know you or your spouse. But I'm hoping it gets to something like that. We'll see.
Hmm.
But let's get back to AI and selling. So at this point, let's just stay in today's day and age. We're just talking the future because I see it coming. I don't think we could stop it.
Hmm.
But you're right. There is a period of time, and I'd give it 3 to 5 years, period of time where we need to leverage AI to become better sales and marketing people. So, what do you suggest people do that are listening in order to become a better salesperson
Oh,
using
yeah.
AI?
So there's a ton of tools, and I can link you to them afterwards, um, like Gong or something like that. But there's a ton of AI sales tools that help you be better in every step of the process, right? So for us, my example for Constant Closer is that you now have a sales team when you didn't have one previously, and it just wasn't scalable. Like you couldn't motivate a salesperson to sell $100 online course, like maybe a $10,000 one, but a $500 one, it's very difficult, right? The commission would be too low to motivate them. Okay, so that's one angle. A second angle is when let's say you get to the other side of the funnel of this funnel, and now you're going to a top tier, big SaaS product. I've seen what AI is doing is making the sales team better by not replacing the salesperson, but just making them more effective. For example, when you're emailing, what are some talking points that you can do during that email? During your phone call, what are some talking points and rebuttals that you can do in order to make your sales efforts more effective, all in real time? And then you are able to use AI also in the analytics to better analyze what are the conversations and the talking points of the emails that are getting more effective at closing deals. So now all of that funnels up and goes directly into, right, whoever the CIO is or whoever's in charge of the sales team, and they're able to see who's actually being more effective with these tools and in closing deals. So I wouldn't even say at this top level yet, we're not really replacing the humans. We're really just making them more and more effective. So what's interesting is where's this ultimately going to lead us? Like if you are not using AI in your sales process, you're going to be left so far behind that you won't be able to close deals anymore. Everyone else is using AI to scale and get actually into the primary inbox of the lead, get their attention. If they're clicking on something, you're triggering, clicking on a link, they're triggering another email or maybe a text message to hit them. So really, it's whoever can be the most effective and integrate it in the entire sales process, I think is going to be by far and clear the winner. So now I think it's like required to use it at every step of the process. So the CEO, the founder, whoever you are, your job now is to think about how can I incorporate it into my processes so that I can beat out the competition because your competitor is actually using it and you're going to be falling behind.
Yeah, I always say in the next 5 years, AI isn't going to replace you. It's people that are using AI better than you that will
Nice
replace you.
one. Yes.
So, I mean, I just did uh, just a quick prompt with Manus.im. I don't know if you've played around with that yet, but it's truly an an AI agent platform where,
Yeah.
and I basically said, go research all of the prospects in Southern California
Mm.
for a real estate project. We're looking for investors and give me their names, their information, and how do I contact them? And it came back with 1,000 names in about 15 minutes.
Wow. What product was that?
Manus.im just recently had
Manus.
some big press around it. I would encourage
Manus.im.
everyone to take a look at that.
I'm gonna check that out. That sounds great. Manus.im. Manus is a generation agent. All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
take a look at
Okay.
it after
Yeah.
this podcast. If you're watching, you got to get on a waiting list.
Uh-huh.
I got for some reason, maybe listening to this podcast, they gave me access to it with a few credits. But this is the type of thing that's going to change everything. It's not just limited to sales and marketing. It does some pretty intense research, and then because it's an agent, it's constantly updating itself and
Amazing.
constantly looking for more and working
But
on your behalf.
but I think that was key, and it reminds me of a quote. I'm trying to remember it, but it was something like, "The future isn't AI versus humans, right? Because it was like AI versus human, who's going to win? Skynet. But I think it's humans with AI versus humans without it, right? The real winners are those people who learn how to work with it and are not afraid to use it. So you know Jeff Bezos, right? He has this famous, I don't know, viral video that he did. He's like, hey, Jeff, how many hours do you sleep at night? Jeff's like, no, I sleep 8 hours. I sleep really well. It's like, what? How can you do that? So, well, when you get to my level, what you really get paid for is to make decisions, right? There are a few key decisions that you make every quarter, every year that is ultimately going to make all your returns. So I need to make sure that my mind is there. And I think everyone here, all of us, need to make sure we're making the right decisions with AI, whether it's to your business and also with your family. I alluded to how I'm using AI with the kids. I've been teaching them how to code video games with AI, right? And they're only 7 and 5, and they're like, wow, this is amazing. And so these are all things that we can do right now to get ahead of it. It's not just in your business, but in your family and everything that you're doing. How can you be more effective with AI?
Yeah, I love that. All right. So is there any suggestions you have for people as to how to find these tools to learn more about them? I mean, it's incredibly fast moving, but any suggestions you have for salespeople or marketing people listening to this in order to become better salespeople and marketers?
I mean, do what you're doing, right? You got to listen to these podcasts. You have to absorb that information. I mean, look, even myself, I'm in the game and I just learned about Manus, right? I'm going to check this out. I'm going to try it out. So what I like in terms of my productivity and how to be more effective, there's two things. One is time boxing. Schedule 30 minutes, right? Maybe an hour out of the day to just research. Sometimes we get stuck in this execution mode and we get stuck in this reactive mode. We're responding to emails. We're responding to messages on Slack. We're responding to people on Twitter or X. And you get so reactive that you don't have the chance to just settle in, get into your thoughts and do proactive work. And I consider this research and figuring things out. How can I be more effective? Definitely as proactive work. So time boxing and the Pomodoro method, 25 minutes to really focusing your time, maybe 50 minutes, I think is the best way to do it. Because I'll be honest with you, sometimes I'm on X and then all of a sudden like 10, 15 minutes go by. I'm like, man, what did I just do with all this time? So really, right, for everyone, it's not just, you can't just depend on AI for everything. For this ability to focus, you really need to shut everything out and give yourself time to do this proactive work.
Yeah, no kidding. There's also a bunch of newsletters you could subscribe to that talk about some of the things that are coming up or are already here. I post a lot on X about what we're seeing and how we're seeing everything develop, especially around agents and AGI right now and MCP. These are things that the industry's talking about but aren't quite here yet. But at least they're coming. You could prepare for them and start to learn more about them.
Love it.
So June, how do people find you, and how do they learn more about your course selling software, and how do they sign up for it?
Yeah, so the product is called Constant Closer, constantcloser.com. You can find me at X at June Loayza, JUNLOAYZA. And definitely, if you are building any type of courses, memberships, selling some kind of a service, trying to book a meeting with an email audience, Constant Closer is going to get you those incremental conversions. So definitely, yeah, if you're in the game, try us out.
All right. Thanks again for joining us. Great discussion, by the way. Maybe we'll have you back in 6 to 9 months to kind of talk about more on the sales side. We don't have a lot of guests that I let on that have AI sales background. So love to have you back if you don't mind.
Happy to do it.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you, Mark.